What is up? It's the Fit Gear Hunter, and this is part one in a four-part series of an in-depth review of the Amazfit Balance. I actually recorded one comprehensive review, and it turned out to be a 35-minute video, and so I thought I need to break this up in chunks. It's going to be released one part a day for 4 days. That's going to include first this review here, which is going to be the general watch experience, use, things I liked, and how I would rate it. The second review is going to be on the wellness and the wellness components and comparing it to Garmin and to Whoop on some other multiple of metrics. The third is going to be the workout and the workout analysis and training load analysis recovery time compared to Garmin specifically. And then the fourth is going to be a more simple summary, sort of hitting the high points of all these things. They're going to be released over the next few days. So if you're new to this channel, like it and subscribe if you actually like this video. But if you're new to this channel, I try to test devices for higher intensity training, and I only test devices that have not just training analysis, but recovery and wellness aspects. I try to not just announce a feature of a device, but compare it to others on the market that have that similar feature. And I always try to have no frills reviews. I try to focus on just all I have time for is the content, not necessarily video transitions or background music. So the Amazfit Balance, today we're going to look at it just using it as a watch after multiple weeks of testing it and what my experience as a watch. We're not looking at the worthwhile, how worthwhile the wellness or the training might be or may not be. We're just going to look at it as a watch. So with that, let's dive in. Okay, so looking at this as a watch, just the design, the features, the detail to it, it is awesome all around as a watch. We're going to talk about whether the functions themselves or the recommendations themselves or anything, but just perfect design, sleek, professional. Like the 1.5-inch screen is just fantastic. The way that it actually, all the aspects function and they work well. The simplicity of moving between widgets and screens, simple things, like weather, all of that stuff functions really well. In addition to notifications when they come in, they're clear, they're crisp, they have all the really right icons, just fantastic. So as a design, I wouldn't keep this band on there because I don't like form-fitted bands, but as a design, it is just near perfection. It's not the most rugged, obviously, but at the same time, it is the most sleek with the largest screen. So all that's been great. Second great thing about the overall design and watch experience in general is the battery life. The battery life is not the 14 days that they said. I am getting 6.5 days. I keep the backlight, I think it was like at 70%. I don't like the auto adjust because I feel like it just made it too dark at times, and I just don't like that. So I would keep it, like 70%, and I just have loved the overall experience. I love the watch faces that you can choose. See, notifications come in just great. The watch faces you can choose to do different things. The other thing about it to me is it's just such a cool looking watch. Like that's, picture of my dog. It's like the custom thing, but the watch faces, everything just so brilliant. The colors are great. You have just a collection of different, that's how it looks on my 176 millimeter wrist. Watch faces, everything just bold and really good looking. You have the animated watch faces, so you can see like the stars move in this one. They rotate around, there's a little fire. Everything about the basic watch functionality, like weather, all that sort of stuff, getting into the app list, the scrolling wheel, rotating crown, as well as the button press on the crown, without looking at the specifics for whether it was, the wellness recommendations were correct, are great. So everything just really functions well. And then let's talk about Alexa. Okay, so one question is, does the Alexa, can't say it loud, work? And it works super well. What's the weather in Moscow, Russia?
Right now in Moscow, Russia, it's 40 Fahrenheit with rain. Throughout the night, you can expect more of the same.
Play Spotify in the living room.
Sure, here's Spotify on the living room.
I don't know if you can hear it. Play the music. Stop playing Spotify in the living room. And then it stopped. So it's all worked functionally really well. You can't play stream live music or video to the actual watch itself, but that's actually worked really well. So looking at it as a watch, I would say 10 out of 10. Just 10 out of 10, just in the functional, the beauty, the enjoyment, just the fact that it's got great battery life for the huge screen, great price, all of that is great. So this, again, is not evaluating whether any of the wellness components are worthwhile or not, whether any of the training components are worthwhile or not. That's a separate video, so stay tuned for parts 2, 3, and 4, or I should say 2, 3, and 4, to look at those in in-depth pieces as well as a brief summary. It's the Fit Gear Hunters, the Amazfit Balance General Watch Overview after 4 weeks of testing. Thanks so much.